Hello, everybody, and welcome to Red2 Chatter, the show about everything Star Wars. And today we're going to be reviewing Solo, a Star Wars story. And one word description as to what you think of this movie, or
Just initial.
just initial
one word.
Oh, yeah, one sentence.
I can go with
Like,
a word.
Okay, yeah,
Fun.
fun.
It was a fun movie.
What about you, Jay?
I loved it. So that's a sentence.
I loved it.
A 3-word sentence.
Okay.
I loved it.
The one word I would use to describe it is charming. I found it very charming. Like, it definitely fit the the Han Solo character in being charming and
Yeah.
lovable. And a lot of people, were boycotting this movie
I don't know why.
because of Last Jedi.
That's a stupid reason not to go to a movie.
And because of Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson. And
Still another stupid reason.
now I'll
I
fully...
don't like that person, so I'm not gonna go to the movie.
yeah,
Kind of
It's
stupid
one thing
logic
if
is
you
that?
don't like one of the actors in it because maybe they disagree with you politically or something. But even then,
Yeah,
if
that's even
I'll go see a movie.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
same here. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm supporting this guy's paycheck or lady's paycheck. I mean, not necessarily like that, but I'm gonna go watch a movie.
stupid.
Yeah, it's for my own personal enjoyment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll admit, I at first had kind of low expectations for this movie. I wasn't fully on board with this movie, but throughout the movie's course, as it went along, I started liking it more and more, and I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty freaking good. Like, it surprised me how good it was, because I was actually kind of expecting like a kind of movie, but it was actually really fun and engaging, and told the origin story of Solo quite well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, and Alden Ehrenreich, I don't know why we were worried. He was freaking great.
Yeah,
As Solo.
He did a great job. And it did take me the first probably
10 minutes.
5 minutes to get over the fact that, not that it's not.
It took me till the time jump.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Took the time jump for you to go, okay. I'm fully invested as him as Han Solo now, and I could just sit back.
Right.
I'm guessing the second time you watch it, Jay's seen it 3 times
Yeah,
already.
I've seen it 3.
I'm guessing the second time, the third time, you don't need that up to the
Nope.
time jump to just accept it.
Yeah, you actually get to pay attention a little bit more. Not that a whole lot happens within that first scene, the sort of the setup scene, if you will, to the whole movie. How he gets off Corellia. But it's, once you see it one time and you go back to the second and third viewing, Alden Ehrenreich is Han Solo. And
Yeah.
you're just in the movie right away.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people were really worried about the L337 character. Because, from the descriptions that we got of her, a lot of people thought she was just going to be annoying and preachy, stuff like that. But even the other characters find her annoying and preachy. So they kind of, do some self-awareness.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Even like Lando is self-aware that his droid is like he should have her reprogrammed, but he can't because of a
the
certain
map
thing. Right?
Yeah, she has the
That
map
she has,
coordinates. Yeah, she has like the best star map.
The star navigation
Yeah, in
in the galaxy.
the galaxy. So he can't.
Right.
And
He can't risk losing that part of her to like wipe her and sort of give her a different personality. He just has to kind of live with it.
Yeah,
And they're very self-aware of
yeah.
her.
This character is a little bit obnoxious at times, and the other characters are like, oh, or roll their eyes or some of the things that she says, or And I actually kind of found that pretty funny. That's another thing with this movie. The comedy is actually really, really good. I thought some of the comedy moments were pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think a lot of Han Solo's moments fit Han Solo, and Lando's moments, fit what we know of Lando.
Chewie's moments definitely fit Chewie.
Right, so the characters we're aware of do what they seemed that they would have done.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
the way you would envision them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're the way that Harrison Ford and
Billy
Dee
Williams and Peter Mayhew kind of left them, or started them off, and they just kind of, even though it's back in time, before, they just kept that going.
Yeah, and I think, the new actors talking to the old actors definitely helped that a lot.
I'm sure it did. When you first hear Lando speak in the movie, you think it sounds like Billy Dee Williams.
Yeah, it does.
Like, when he's sitting at that card game, it's like, holy crap, he sounds just like him. And then it starts to kind of go away. Like, he doesn't always do that, like, imitation of Lando.
Yeah.
Just that one moment. And once you hear that, though, it's like, well, he's Lando.
He's Lando.
And then you kind of don't even pay attention after that.
Yeah, and I love, like, a lot of people have been saying that Lando kind of steals the show.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that. But he definitely does add a lot to it. A lot to my enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't give Lando really enough to do for him to steal a show for me.
Yeah,
same here, yeah.
No, he was.
I mean,
he was very
in it.
Empire Strikes Back-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was in Empire Strikes Back. A great side character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want to overshadow Han's moment and Chewie's moment, which was really where the story was, and even Beckett and Kira. Those four characters are the ones you really get to know.
Yeah.
Those are the four main characters, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lando just is sort of like that next tier down.
Mm-hmm. He's still important,
Yes.
but he's not as important as those four.
Right.
To the story, at least.
Well, he just has a job in the story, and that's all he does. He doesn't go above and beyond that because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Because Lando wants to stay on his ship.
This isn't really, like, spoiler, but he doesn't even take part in the big climax at the end. Mm-hmm. He's just, he goes away. So, and yeah, he just did a great job. I think Donald Glover did a really good job as Lando. And, actually, I could honestly say there was no bad actors in this movie.
I didn't see any really...
To me, the acting wasn't the issue. Like, if we'll get to maybe, like, our
cons.
Not so good...
Yeah, our cons.
Yeah. Our cons the movie later, but I did have a couple of...
Yeah, me too.
Of cons.
Me too.
But acting wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
No.
So, what else did you really like about this movie?
I like the... Well, I mean, if you just want to start sort of at the beginning
Okay.
of the movie, well, we probably wait for the spoiler part of the movie for that.
The visuals were definitely Star Wars.
Yeah.
I also like that they brought back at least one species.
Yep, we saw Rodian.
A Rodian.
I think you see a Twi'lek too.
Somewhere.
If you're watching on Dryden Voss's yacht, I think there's a Twi'lek in there.
Yeah.
Or a Twi'lek.
Yeah, and then we also have a Pike Syndicate dude.
Yeah, from the cartoon.
And it's actually really cool to see a Pike, what they look like in live action. Because the only thing we've ever gotten of them was in Clone Wars. And what they look like there. But it was really cool to see what they actually look like in live action.
But even in Clone Wars, they all have their own look.
Yeah.
Like, if a different Pike shows up, it probably is going to have a different shaped head or headdress or face of their helmet.
That's another thing I liked about this movie. The designs of a lot of the ships, like Dryden Voss's yacht. And the inside of it was really cool.
Yep.
And
just the speeders, the two speeders at the beginning.
All of Enfys Nest's
the one
crew was just awesome.
Yeah.
I like their designs are cool. Also, Warwick Davis is in this movie.
Yep.
And his name is like, what was it? It was like Rascal or Rat or something like that.
Weasel.
Weasel. There it is. Yeah.
Weasel.
Yeah, his name is Weasel in this movie. He doesn't really talk that much, but you see him.
And Anthony Daniels is in this movie as well.
Yeah.
He's the other Wookiee.
I think Warwick Davis is officially the only actor to say that he's played 3 separate roles in Star Wars.
Yeah, now Anthony Daniels has 2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's played Wicket, Rook, and Weasel now. So that's pretty cool for him. He's getting a lot of parts. I wonder if he'll get a 4th sometime in the future.
Well, his Weasel's still alive, so Might see him pop up again.
Maybe. So I guess we can go into cons if you guys want
Or do
to.
we want to go into spoilers and just start?
Hey, well, let's just give our... Well, before we go to spoilers,
ratings.
Sort of an overall rating and where you rank it amongst your
Star Wars
movies right now.
Okay. I give it...
It's just like a 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10. Let's do 1 out of 10.
10.
So it gives
It's
you
a bit more specific,
It gives
yeah.
you a little more...
All right.
Leeway. I'll go with a 8 out of 10 for this movie.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's a B.
Yeah, it's a B.
Yeah, I'll give... I'm going to give it an 8. Can we do...
Point. Yeah, we can do a point.
I'm going to do 8.5 out of 10
We can do decimals. It's okay.
Pike acid dribbles.
So...
190-year-old Wookiees. 8 out of 10 190-year-old Wookiees.
Yeah, I need to see it again before I give it 2.
Oh, that's another thing we can
before I
talk
can give
about.
it like it's true, what I would consider as true
Yeah.
grading. But from just the one time through, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah. Now, if you're into 3D movies, granted, we're not that into 3D movies, but we did go see it in 3D. If you're into 3D movies, I think you'll really like the 3D in this movie. Because some of it's really cool. Like, some of it, you're like looking through the cockpit window of the Millennium Falcon at the planet outside, and it looks like you're actually in the cockpit. Like, you have the grates right there, and then the planet more in the background. So, and also some of, like, the shots where they're flying and stuff, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
The only thing that kind of drove me nuts is I can't look at stuff in the background. I'm kind of forced to focus on what they want me to focus on, and that's why one reason I need to go see it
in
again,
2D, yeah,
in just the regular
2D fashion.
Yeah, he's the only one who's seen it multiple times.
Yeah, once in 3D opening night, and then twice in 2D since then.
Okay,
and
so
I do prefer the 2D version, just personally, because you can like look around the sets more and like pick things out like that are in the background that are, whether it be a character or a vehicle or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's better in 2D.
So where do you rank it amongst your Star Wars movies? This is another one where I'm gonna have to see it a few more times before I can get it settled in right where it needs to be.
For me, it drops in at number 5.
5.
So, in my order goes 4, 5, 6, 7, Solo, Rogue One, Last Jedi, 1, 2, 3.
You just put it as 4th. Oh, you.
No,
wait, you mean 1, 3, 2?
Yeah, you said
4, 1, 3, 2 at the end.
No, he said
4, 5, 6,
7.
7.
And then Han.
7.
4, 5, 6, 7, Han, Rogue One.
So it goes before Rogue One.
8. Yeah.
Mine would probably be
Interesting.
6, 5, 4. Yeah, I'll put Han as 4th for me. Rogue One, Force Awakens, 3, 1, Last Jedi, and then Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. I do not like Last Jedi.
Attack of the Clones was bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine's let's see, 5, 4, 6. mine's a lot harder to do than your guys's because you guys kind of go down. Down goes backwards though on the
6,
originals.
5, 4.
Yeah, you go forward.
Yeah,
on the
I go
originals.
6, 5, 4.
I bounce around on the originals. I go 5, 4, 6.
Yeah.
And then here's where I'm having the issue because it's either Rogue One or Han Solo, and I need to see Solo more.
Yeah.
To put it as 4 or 5. So right now it's going to be 5. So Rogue One, then 5, and then 7. And then you've got 1, 3, Last Jedi, Clone Wars.
Or Attack the Clones.
Attack the Clones. Yeah, Clone Wars is good.
Clone Wars is good.
Attack of the Clones is not.
Yeah, Clone Wars the animated is excellent.
Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about the spoiler section now. I guess we can give away the huge spoiler. Okay, so if you don't want to know spoilers, click off of this video right now.
Go watch the movie, come back.
Yes. Maul is in this movie, which none of us were expecting at all.
No, that was a good surprise.
We basically, like, Kira, she basically betrays Han in the end.
Yeah.
Everyone betrays Han in the end,
Well,
except for
everybody's out
Chewie.
for themselves in that kind of world, man. They're not.
Well, just like Beckett said in one of his last words to Han, like, she's a survivor. You just
Yes.
don't see it yet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You're not seeing it.
Yeah. And so Kira's working for Maul.
Well, she's
and-
working for Voss,
Yeah.
Drayden Voss, but
But-
he gets killed.
But Dryden Voss is working for Maul.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't know that at the beginning. It's
Which-
only at the very, very end you realize that's. He says, "You know who I work for,"
For.
but he doesn't tell you who it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
the-
means Beckett knows
Beckett knows.
Now,
who
I
Maul is.
I was thinking, because when they said Dryden Voss's gang name, like the part of the gang that he's part of, and it said Crimson Sun or
Crimson
Crimson Dawn,
Dawn.
I was like, wait, Red? And I was like, is it Maul? No, they wouldn't go that way. Like, I was like, no.
No, it was just a shout out to Red Dawn, the cool 80s movie.
About fighting communists.
About fighting the Russians.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I actually thought like Maul, because when Red comes up in Star Wars, instantly I think of Darth Maul. It's just kind
Yeah, or
of where I go to.
Or Vader, Sith.
Sith,
yeah.
that's where I went to first, and I'm like, it couldn't be Maul. They want to put Maul into this movie, but they did. They did it. And then like when I know Ryan got the first clue when it just showed the back of Maul and you didn't see him, but you saw his
I
middle
saw his
leg.
foot.
Yeah, I knew it was Maul then.
Oh, but it's like, no way. And
Yeah.
they just panned around, and there he is.
And Ray.
And then you
Parker-
hear the voice.
yeah.
And
Ray-
they used the voice from the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoever
Sam
that-
Witwer.
Is that who it was?
Sam Witwer, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but they also use Ray Parker
Ray
for
Park.
Ray Park for the acting part, which must be hard because he has to lip sync with
He can
the-
just say the words. It's Sam Witwer that has
to match. Yeah. And that was just a good twist, and like it got Ryan and I, because we were sitting next to each other, and we're like,
Oh.
oh crap.
Right, and I'm sure it threw a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Because I think he's dead. Because if
Right,
they haven't seen
because
the
if
cartoon,
they've only seen Phantom Menace, you
Yeah.
would assume he's dead.
Because he got chopped in half.
Right.
yeah, if you haven't seen the Clone Wars
Or Rebels.
and Rebels,
Right, but if
you
you're not
would-
really paying attention to what the Emperor does to save Anakin, you know it's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Anakin had worse done to him than Maul did.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And
yeah,
Anakin
way
was
worse.
Still able to live.
Way
So
worse.
the possibility was there always
Mhm.
that he could be alive, just depending on who found him at the bottom of that
Yeah.
pit and what was at the bottom of the pit.
Yeah. And he's now on, what is that? place?
Mustafa.
No.
Oh, no.
Dathomir.
Dathomir. Yeah.
Yeah, Dathomir.
You always get those two mixed
Yeah, me
up.
Yeah, Dathomir, which is the home planet, his home planet.
Yeah, with all the Zabreks living on it, and that's apparently where Kira's going to meet him.
That's also where the Rancor comes from.
Yeah. And also the Night Sisters, but they're all dead. So,
That's because Maul and Savage Opress killed them all.
yeah.
Didn't Sidious wipe them out?
I think both of them.
Sidious ended up wiping out.
The Night
Mother
Mother.
Tausen.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think she got off the planet though, right? Or was she still there? I can't remember. I have to go back and watch
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Clone Wars again.
I know her like spirit is still around. I do know that. But yeah, that completely threw me for a loop. And also, of course, what I predicted, I knew Beckett was gonna betray him too.
Oh, yeah.
Like I figured.
If they, yeah. The one thing, then that was one of my complaints, I guess,
What?
is that they over foreshadowed Beckett turning. Like, it was no surprise to anybody.
No.
I don't think anybody in the theater was surprised that
No,
Beckett was the one that walked through the door.
Yeah.
Who else was it going to
Gonna
be?
be. Yeah.
Like yeah.
If it wasn't Kira sitting on the seat next to him,
yeah. It's like
and somebody else out there, who was it going to
yeah.
be?
No, freaking Lando, who
Right.
freaking sped away on the Millennium Falcon, came back for that reveal.
He didn't even know what was happening. He wasn't part of the plan of
Right,
the
yeah.
whole
No, they just used his ship.
coaxium anyway.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, that I saw that coming. But I do like how Beckett went out because he said, him and Han are standing, kind of Western showdown.
Han has the gun out though already, pointed.
Yeah.
at
Yeah, he's already got the gun drawn on him.
and yeah,
But he knows how quick
Oh yeah, Beckett's fast.
Beckett is, so he knows that he has to already be drawn down on him, or else he would lose that fight. No questions.
yeah. So but like he's like, I'm gonna teach you one last thing,
Yeah.
and then he goes and just shoots him.
Han just shoots him.
Which I think I know what Beckett was going to say, and I think it was always shoot first. I think that's exactly what he was going to teach him.
No, I think you're absolutely right, but it didn't need to be said anymore.
And that's what Han uses in
Right.
A New Hope. He uses that lesson.
Yeah.
Like,
Always
because
shoot
Beckett's
first.
like, smart move, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna kill
as he's
you.
going down.
Yeah. And I just, that's honestly one of my favorite parts about this movie is that it's like honor among thieves, kind of. You know? Like, even after he's shot and, you know, laying dead or almost dying.
Yeah, Han rushes over to
Yeah.
him immediately. It's not like he like just watches him die.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to have
Nope,
to
he
shoot
just
him, but
knew
he
he
knew
had
to.
to.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Beckett respected that from
Right.
him. He's like, yeah, it was either you or me.
Right.
You know? And I that was probably one of my favorite
Because
moments in
Chewie
the
wasn't
whole
armed,
movie.
so he wasn't going to be any help.
Yeah, yeah. That's also talk about that. How Chewie and Han first meet.
Well, yeah, we can just kind of, since you've already went to the end, we
End.
can start at the beginning and just kind of go through like,
Yeah,
what we thought of
yeah,
each part. The beginning is where I have. It's kind of funny because the beginning and sort of the end is where I have my two issues.
Two issues.
I
What's
got-
your
I mean,
issue?
I love the way they started the movie with
Uh-huh.
where they had the, you know, a long time ago in the galaxy
Galaxy
far,
far,
far
far
away.
away.
And then they went immediately into that same font.
Yeah.
Which kind of gave like a little backstory.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah, that was unique. I like
Um,
that.
I like the way they used that. I liked it better than the cold intro of Rogue One,
One.
where they just had the flashback scene and then
Yeah.
went to the
And it was like an episode of Clone Wars or Rebels, I guess more.
yeah. I like the way Solo did their intro
Yeah, me
to the
too.
movie better. But I'm not a huge fan of Lady Proxima
Yeah,
and her like. I didn't mind that she was an alien slug that lived underwater. No big deal.
that was kind of cool.
Right. I just wish that she wouldn't have talked in basic. I wish she would have talked like Moloch did. Moloch
Yeah.
was way more interesting character.
Yes.
Because of the, you know, he talked almost Huttese it sounded like, but
Oh,
you know, who
Kind of
knows?
sounded like it. Kind of looked like to me, at least, like he was the same race as the mother.
Just had legs.
Yeah, just because maybe he was just a smaller, or maybe that's what female
Maybe
and
that's
males.
what the males. Yeah,
Yeah, look
that's
like
the difference.
because
Yeah.
that's why he has the thing that goes over his face is because he'll get burned. Because as soon as she got burned by the sunlight, he got burned too, and he
Yeah,
put down.
he
the
knew he would get
visor.
burned, so he put his visor down.
Yeah.
Could have been.
He was a way more interesting character,
Oh yeah, he was
and
really
I
cool.
like the way they used him, just as sort of like an enforcer, and he like he had no care for the Empire at all. They
Oh, no.
they were gonna try to question him when he walked in
He
there. And he
just-
just like stiffs his like staff right in that trooper's chest and just pushes him away. Like, nope,
yeah,
I run this planet.
right, this is my planet still.
Still. Yep.
which yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, and I like the speeder chase.
The
I
dogs.
just didn't like I like the comedy part of that interaction between Lady Proxima and Han Solo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I like that Han Solo finally stood up for himself. Like, if somebody hits me again one more time,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna hit him back. And then I like the way he picks up the rock and like
Yeah. It's a thermal detonator.
plays like it's a thermal detonator. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and Proxima's
a
like,
rock.
no, it isn't.
Made that clicking noise with your mouth.
Yeah, I thought, it kind of reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy, but in a good way. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like, it was just
Yeah.
it was just ripping off Guardians of the Galaxy. It was making something, new.
Yeah, and I like that part.
Yeah.
It was good.
It definitely fit within the
I
movie.
wish Lady Proxima was a little bit more interesting of
Yeah.
a character.
Yeah.
I definitely
Did
would
she
agree with
die?
that. No.
No, she just
No,
dove back.
yeah.
into
Go
the-
back in once he
So
hit
maybe
underwater.
there's a chance
once
that
he
she
threw
can
the
come
rock
back.
through the window or whatever it was and broke
Yep.
it and the sunlight came
She
through.
went back
She had to go
underwater.
back underwater.
I think I like the concept of Lady Proxima.
So,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, I agree with Jay. If they should have just had her have subtitles and have her own language,
Yes.
it would have been way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I
It would have
wish.
played better.
Yes.
No, so I like how kind of the, I guess, child slave place looks. It's got like multiple tunnels going here and there, and different sections.
The whole planet of Corellia was really. I mean, it's like just a big giant.
dust ball.
No, it wasn't that. It was just a
Factory.
factory. So like
building
big giant
Yeah.
ships. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Because you see them constructing star destroyers up in space.
Yep.
yeah,
That's where like the YT freighter. The Millennium Falcon was constructed there.
Yeah, and then from there, Kira gets captured.
Well, Han and her try to run away from
Lady Proxima.
Lady Proxima.
Because they have the little
Coaxium,
which is like this fuel source that's extremely valuable and
it's fuel source for all the spaceships.
Yeah,
it's what enables them to enter hyperspace.
Yeah. But he gets through the gate, but she doesn't, and she gets captured again by Lady Proxima.
Right. And I like that moment because it was very like reminiscent of like the concentration camps in World War II. Like they had that sort of feel like getting split apart, and one's captured and one makes it through the gate, you know. And
you see that in a lot of movies. That happens where one person makes it and the other person gets
captured. Yep. So I thought that was the grittiness of the first part of this movie up until sort of Chewie and Han get off of, is it Mimban, the mud planet, which is really gritty. It is like that gritty and dark.
That's what I kind of just even though it was just a really short section, where he's a mud trooper. There's a whole because Han goes and he gets entangled with the Empire because that's the only way he can get out of.
It's the only way he can get away from Corellia.
And also, it's the only way he can get a ship.
Yeah.
To come back for Kira.
Oh yeah, he's got to get off Corellia and
make some money,
get his ship, come back to get her.
Yeah.
But so he's sitting there and there's like troopers looking for him because he got through the checkpoint without any credentials. So they're looking for him. So he just walks up to the recruitment thing that's telling you to join the Empire. He goes up there, I want to be a pilot.
So what do you think about that's how he got his last name?
I thought that was kind of interesting.
That was really cool.
Because his name, he's like, what's your name? He's like, Han. What tribe?
Or who's your people?
Who's your people?
He's like, I'm alone. He's like, alone, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Han Solo. And he
just
types it in.
I like
after that, his name is Han Solo.
I really like that idea.
I do too, and that's like one of like the biggest sticking points for people I've read and seen, like watched their.
Why?
Like they don't want him to, they just thought it was sort of a cheesy way of him to get his name. I thought it was a very cool interesting way for him to get his name. Because if he is like just a mud rat on Corellia, he's just like he's just running jobs for Lady Proxima. He's basically a little child slave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have people.
No.
So maybe he didn't ever want to like give up if he even knew his last name. Ever.
Yeah, he may not.
He knew his father, so I'm guessing he did have a last name.
So maybe he just wanted to.
But it did sound like he had a very good
relationship
with his father, so he didn't want anything to do with that past.
Yeah.
Maybe his father's the one that gave him up to Lady Proxima.
It's possible.
So, but what I was going to say though is like that whole scene after he becomes Han Solo and he goes, and of course he wants to be a pilot and he becomes a mud trooper or he becomes just a regular foot soldier. There's that whole part of the movie, and it's not a very long section there, but where he's in the mud troopers and it's real gritty, and that's what I was kind of hoping.
Getting blown up.
Well, that's what you were kind of hoping that the Attack of the Clones,
or you mean Scarif?
No.
Wait.
The second movie.
Attack
of the Clones was going to be like.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you were hoping for, was something similar to that.
Yeah, because especially on Geonosis.
Yeah. Yeah. It could have been really cool.
Right, instead it was just like so colorful and like just like errant laser blast just flashing across the field.
Yeah, where this one was like more explosions and people just getting
disintegrated.
Yeah.
And then that one guy yelling, "My leg! My leg!" in the background.
Yeah, and they walk down through the trenches like in World War II.
Yeah,
World War
I love that part.
There's all
the
trenches
much.
And there's people just laying there and they're just all beat to heck.
That's
what I was hoping. That's right there is what Attack of the Clones
should have been
during the very last.
During the Battle of Geonosis,
about third of the movie, that's what it should have been.
Yeah, and
it wasn't.
I got it. I loved. One of my favorite lines was like, they're like one of the generals, or I guess it's the lieutenant. He's like saying like, "Oh, we must take out the hostiles or whatever." And he's like, "Well, it's their planet technically. We're the hostiles." And he's like, "Excuse me, Private." He's like, "Nothing."
And Han doesn't want to be there, but he's there for 3 years doing that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
If you listen to his conversation with Beckett, he was in the Naval Academy and a pilot, but he got kicked out for having a mind of his
His
own,
own.
and
Yeah.
dropped down to
To
foot soldier,
foot soldier.
to infantry.
Yeah.
So he was in the Naval Academy and flying ships.
Yeah.
It's just that, again, he had difference of opinion with his,
With his commanding
with his
officers.
commanding officer, so he got demoted all the way down to infantry.
Yeah. And
But yeah, that's where and then that's where he meets Beckett and Val
and,
and
Rio.
Rio, and kind of tries to get on. He knows that they're not there. They're not actual part of the
Right, he
Empire.
figures it out pretty quick.
Because they have
Well, 'cause they're-
holes in their...
Yeah, their jacket stuff, but that also because they're what he used to be. So he recognized
Right.
them. He had the eyes to be able to see it
That
really quick.
Something was off
about them.
And,
And the way that what was the one guy's name?
Rio
Rio. All of a sudden, his extra pair of hands come out and pull up his pants.
hypes up his pants.
yeah.
That's how he knew he wasn't
He's
a
like,
real
yeah,
trooper.
And, from there, he's trying to get with Beckett and Val and Rio, but they kind of turn him over to the,
Well, it's funny because
lieutenant.
he tries to blackmail Beckett into letting him on the team.
Yeah.
And
By
then
telling him that
I'm gonna
they
tell
killed-
somebody who you.
Beckett
who's
just
not
like
there.
turns it against him. Like,
Yeah, he's like, I'll just turn you in. And then he's like, oh yeah, hey lieutenant, because he's a captain. Come
Right.
here. Yeah, this guy, we caught this deserter. Don't believe anything he says. And then he's like, there's nothing he can do because
right.
So he gets dropped in a pit with the beast, which
Yep.
who hasn't been like fed in a long time. You see like a dead mud trooper down there with like it's been eaten like an empty soup.
yeah.
And turns out the beast is Chewbacca. Who I guess they just keep him as a prisoner and just feed him.
And I love the reveal of Chewbacca. It's all just muddy and gnarly looking. I mean,
Uh-huh.
And thank goodness for Han, he speaks some Wookiee.
Yeah.
Wookiees
and see,
or whatever it's
again, another, some people have an issue with him speaking Wookiee. I like that part because it proves to me that Han had to do that to gain the favor of Chewbacca.
Yeah.
If he didn't speak in
Yeah.
Wookiee,
Chewie
Chewie
would've
could
killed
understand what he's saying,
him. Yeah.
but Chewie would have killed him.
Chewie would have
Yeah.
killed him and eaten him.
Because
That would have been the end of the movie.
But once he heard Wookiee, now he knows that this person may be able to help me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they actually took the time maybe to learn my language, at least some of it.
Yep.
You know, they're not hostile. A
Yeah.
hostile person wouldn't take the time to do that. So I think that's when he realizes, like, oh, maybe I can learn. Maybe I can help. We can help each other.
Yeah, maybe we can get out. I can get out of this
Yeah, so-
situation.
I love
so he
that,
listens to Han, and then sure enough,
I love that whole
So is-
fight scene between the two of them.
Yeah, it
was
was
really good.
Yeah.
And freaking they end up having Chewie punch the pole a whole bunch
Well, then finally he throws Han through the pole.
tackles Han right through it.
and it knocks down the grate and they're able to get out. And then they kind of stow away on
No, they get picked up.
They wave him down.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because they were going to leave. Val's
Beckett-
like, don't go
Yeah,
back.
because
to
Beckett was there to steal a ATST transport ship.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or
Rio
an AT transport ship. The
Rio
ones that pick
liked-
up the ATs and drop them off.
Rio liked Han. And Beckett kind of liked Han, but Val was like no. So it was 2 against 1, so they ended up picking up Han and
Yeah, it was
Val.
really Beckett's decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rio was like, is that a Wookiee? And I usually, he just wants, like, oh, you've never had a better nap than in the lap of a Wookiee.
Wookiee.
yeah,
On
you
the
know,
lap of a Wookiee.
right. So that's when Beckett's like, screw it, we need more help.
Yeah, we need more people on this job anyway, so let's pick
Yep.
these guys up. They pick them up.
Yeah, and then
They do the train job.
they do the train job.
Which was one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. That whole, like, just everything that went on in that was just so cool, like, visually.
Oh yeah.
Where did the range troopers come from?
They were on that last-
They were on the train.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were in the
that
last
makes
car.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't quite catch that when we were watching it the first time. It
Yeah,
went
they
too
came
quick,
from the last car.
which makes sense.
They jumped onto the last car or the second to the last car, and then they jumped over like 4 or 5 cars up before they found the one that had the coaxium in it.
Yeah.
And then the range troopers came from the last car.
Last car, which makes sense.
Yeah. But Infant's Nest also comes, and then they're kind of fighting over the coaxium. And then Rio and Val both die, which I knew was gonna happen. Kind of figured,
Yeah.
And they end up losing all the coaxium in the struggle. So they have to go back to Dryden Voss to basically explain to him what happened. And I love Dryden Voss in this movie. I thought he was,
That was
a
a good character.
great villain.
His ship was freaking awesome. I liked
Yeah,
his
his
yacht.
yacht. Yeah, and I loved like the first scene you see with him. He's just getting done stabbing some dude.
Some regional governor.
Regional governor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just getting
Yeah, if
done.
you look on his ship in the back, like a lot of those people are Imperials that are there enjoying
Yeah.
the bar area of his ship.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Imperials, like upper level Imperials with the different colored bars on their
yeah,
And then
chests.
but you weren't kind of weren't you were expecting if you saw the trailers, but you weren't expecting if you didn't. Is all of a sudden Kira is on the yacht,
yeah,
so he's still trying to get his money together after 3 years to go back and get her, and she's already
there.
off the planet.
Yeah.
and she works for Drayden Voss.
Well, actually, she's engaged to Dryden Voss,
No,
or he's his lover. She's his lover, or
Well, she is. It was. What does one person call that? L3 says something to her. She's like committed
yeah.
yeah,
to Dryden because of that scar on her arm.
Yeah, that's the
brand?
same as
Yeah.
his ring. And I loved Voss, just how the actor, I forget what his name is,
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany. I loved how he portrayed him because it was very different for a villain. You know, he was like kind of smiling and kind of talked like a businessman. He was a smooth
he's-
talker.
Always seemed very concerned with the person. Like,
Yeah.
kid, like, did you get hurt? He's always
it's
like
like, "Oh, you
sounded
okay?"
so
Yeah.
concerned. Like, oh, I'm sorry to hear about Val.
Yeah,
I think he's always like this guy who's like was so unassuming, and then you get behind closed doors, and that's when
yeah,
he turns everything around. But did you notice one thing about Dryden Voss? Like, the angrier he got, the darker red his scars got. The
Uh-huh.
more visible his scars get. I
yeah.
thought that was kind of cool.
Wonder if-
And his eyes get a little bit red.
Yeah, I wonder if he's a type of alien creature.
I just wonder if he doesn't have some sort of dark side, like can use the dark side of the Force as some
Yeah.
sort of attachment there.
Maybe,
And maybe that's why Maul picked him.
maybe that would kind of make
Because
sense.
he had those little saber things. Those. We have plenty of time, right?
Yeah, I was just making sure that our camera ain't dying.
We've only been going 37 minutes. So
No,
should be all
yeah,
right.
we should be fine.
But he had those little daggers that looked like it may have had just a little bit of a like Sith
Lightsaber type.
kyber crystal energy
Yeah,
to it.
I was thinking more vibro blades. That's what they
Yeah.
really reminded me of. Kind of like what the,
Just the way it was able to slice down
Night
the
Sis-
sword though that Kira had.
it looked like something the Night Sisters would use. It looked because like their bows or whatever kind of had that same,
yeah.
kind of laser
Yeah.
like quality to them. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it's like maybe a Night Sister weapon of some sort.
I was just wondering if maybe he doesn't have some sort of force sensitivity to the
Yeah.
dark, like with the dark side of
Maybe.
the force.
Maybe
Well, he did.
he did.
Yeah, he
He does
doesn't
get
anymore.
killed.
Yeah. So they end up having to go to the
They end up talking Dryden Voss into not killing them.
Basically.
of course.
And Kira knows a pilot. It's Lando. And Han plays him in a game of sabacc.
Loses
Loses.
because
But at first he was
what's his
winning.
name? Yeah, well, he should have won, but
Lando cheats.
Lando
cheats.
cheats with a little card up his sleeve.
Yeah, the old cliche card up the sleeve,
That's why I love
Tactic.
the end of the movie.
and then they get Han or they get
Lando to
Lando
basically.
to go ahead and but you
Without Kira though, they weren't going to
get
Lando.
Lando. No,
Lando's afraid of the Crimson Dawn. It's like, I've paid my debt to Dryden.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, I thought we were clear.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then
We still need your ship. So
it's like, when he's like, Kira's like, I thought you were retired. He's like, well, he could always use the money. And he was like, pretty hard nosed about getting 40% until Beckett showed
Becky
up.
showed up.
Yeah.
he was okay with 25.
And
after
that's
that.
when we learn
That Beckett.
Beckett killed Aurra Singh.
Yeah, which was a cool tie into like Phantom Menace and Clone Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean,
Well, there's when they were about ready to do the train job, and Val's like, "Why don't we use someone else?"
The
like,
Zam sisters.
The Zam sisters
are
or
Bosk.
Bosk.
yeah,
Which is like total throwback to freaking A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Zam sisters.
Yeah, and if
come
you're
back.
and if you're
That'd be cool.
if you're an idol fan of Star Wars, you know who the Zam sisters are. When Luke and Obi-Wan walk into the cantina. there's two ladies standing at the bar.
Like little smoky.
They got
thing.
little smoky things. That's the
That's the Zam sisters.
sisters.
They're supposed to be twins.
Well, they're just not identical twins.
Yeah, they're just not identical twins.
They can be twins.
Well, actually, no, because remember, wasn't it in like 40th Celebration when he was like showing the like the behind the scenes things? It was described that they were supposed to be identical though, but the actors that they got weren't identical. Right. Like the description of the characters
on the script, maybe, but then in reality, they weren't.
Yeah, because like one's taller and one's shorter.
Yeah,
and stuff. But
yeah, so there's like a lot of throwbacks.
Yeah, a lot of callbacks to the other
a lot of Easter eggs. Yeah, to go find.
Well, then like, oh god, totally blinking. I hate when that happens. Darth Maul is a throwback to the prequels.
Yeah,
right.
So
we get to find out where Han gets his blaster from.
Yeah, there's just so much.
Yeah, it's like a rifle that.
The one thing we still don't know is where does Chewie get his
bowcaster?
Right. When does he get that?
I don't know.
But it's just a good movie because then you go through and they go to the spice mines of Kessel and do the Kessel run, which you knew how to be in this movie.
In 12 parsecs?
In 12 parsecs.
If you round down.
If you round down.
If you round down.
Yeah, because Chewie was like, no, it was not 12. It was 12 point whatever.
Yeah.
You don't know what he said, but
right.
It wasn't.
He's like, it is if you round down.
Yeah.
And that's when L337 dies. But in order to get through the Kessel.
Yeah, because there's like this big something, the other cloud around
the maelstrom.
Yeah, the maelstrom around the spice mine of Kessel that's owned by the Pike Syndicate.
There's only one path.
There's only one real path to get through it, and Han's like, they steal more of the raw coaxium, and it's unstable at higher as the temperature rises. It gets more and more unstable.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's the more it's exposed without being refined, it becomes more and more unstable.
So they have to get it out of there real quick, but the Empire's blocking the exit with a big giant Star Destroyer.
Yeah. And so they have to go out of the path.
Out of the path and in through where everything's just, nobody goes there because everybody dies if you go through there.
There's this big squid monster with like 1,000 eyes.
Yeah.
In there somewhere. Freaking that eats ships.
It chases them over to where there's like a gravity well.
Yeah.
And then it gets sucked in. And then they go back to the place where they need to refine the coaxium. That's when they meet Enfys Nest.
Again, yeah, they think, oh crap, here she is coming to steal our... Well, you don't know it's her yet, but they're coming to steal the stuff again. And then, and Han goes out there and does his like, we got 60 guys on that ship
Millennium
over there.
Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon, all of a sudden, Lando takes off. Leaves him.
Also, if you're wondering how the Millennium Falcon gets messed up, it's from that Kessel Run.
Kessel Run, because it's real pristine when they first get on it, and it's just a freaking...
The dish gets knocked off, the escape pod gets shot out.
Yeah, it's just a mess by the time they...
Yeah, Han does a number. It's amazing Lando, he wants it back.
Yeah. And,
but it's the Millennium Falcon, man. You have to have that.
Yeah, and... Like, they don't even land it properly on the freaking planet where they're refining stuff. They just crash land.
That's because they lose a landing gear.
Yeah.
That's missing a
when
landing
they do that one maneuver to get rid of that last TIE fighter, they skid through the bottom and they shoot up all the rocks and it goes right through the windshield of the...
Yep, and one of the feet snaps off.
Yep, that's when they snap one of the feet off. But anyway, all that was good stuff. Like I think you were going to go into the L3 part.
Yeah,
where
she gets killed.
Like they use her nav computer to get to Kessel.
Mines. Yeah,
and then she gets killed, freeing all the droids on them,
which was
freedom,
which ends up freeing some of the slaves and that were on the Kessel, mining all the spice.
Yeah, and then they end up putting her chip or memory into the Millennium Falcon nav computer.
Yep. And that's why the Millennium Falcon's so good at being able to get around where it goes, because it has all those
star charts
that were in L3s.
Right. So when you hear like Han, like it'll take me a minute to get the coordinates from the nav computer, like later in like A New Hope and in Empire Strikes Back, he's actually getting that stuff from L3.
Yeah,
that's part of her is in the ship now.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they meet Enfys Nest on the planet, and he tries to bluff, but it doesn't work because Lando just flies off. And it turns out Enfys Nest is a woman, which we knew.
Yeah, we already knew, but she pulls her helmet off, but
Just
she's
a young girl.
She's a young girl.
She's not there wanting to make money. She's trying to keep the
Empire
Coaxium out of Dryden Voss's
hands because of the way how ruthless he is.
Yeah, and
because everybody on that planet knows, because those are the people that have got all their tongues cut out.
Yeah.
By Dryden Voss.
Yeah, that's why she
for
tells
saying
that.
something against him or whatever.
And the
That's why
Crimson
she
Dawn.
tells that story.
Yeah.
So so she just wants to ruin the Crimson Dawn and Dryden Voss. That's what she's after.
Right. She's after.
And
she's not so much after the Empire. She's more after the 5 criminal
She is working
syndicates.
for the rebellion too.
Yes.
At the very beginning. This is like the very beginnings of the rebellion.
Yeah.
But before they get organized, before even Saw Gerrera, I think takes 2 tubes. Which
Yeah.
we do get to see in
See,
the
in
movie.
the
you
movie,
do
yeah,
get to
2
see
tubes
2
is in the
tubes.
movie.
In the movie.
Right. I was hoping there would be like a little like, we need to get some of this coaxium to Saw Gerrera. Just like that little line there, just to tie that in a little more.
That would be cool.
That would have been cool.
Or seeing,
And then
or
2
even,
tubes, we're like, I'll take it.
even seeing
There you go.
Forrest Whitaker in like a hologram form or something.
Because you know he's there in some capacity, like pulling the strings on some of those probably
People.
marauder groups and the
Yeah.
pirate groups.
Yeah,
So then Han and all those guys decide they're going to work with Enfys Nest instead,
and try to bluff.
and try to
Bluff Dryden.
bluff Dryden Voss. But this by now Beckett's already
Beckett doesn't want anything to do with that
it.
plan.
Yeah, with that plan, he just leaves. But you don't. Yeah,
Leaves.
yeah. What's funny though is he just walks. He's like, I guess he's going to wander through the desert planet here because he doesn't have a ship to go to.
Right, in actuality, he's walking to the yacht to tell Dryden their plan.
To betray Han.
But
he doesn't know that that's the real. Like they bring in the refined stuff and they set it down. He's like, this stuff looks really.
You know, it
How'd you get
looks
him to
just
look
like. Yeah.
He doesn't think it's real, but it actually is real.
Yeah.
because Han knows what Beckett's going to do.
Yeah.
So he like lets him think. Like he tells him the plan that he knows that he's going to tell Dryden Voss, and he kind of double plays him.
Yep.
Now, here comes my favorite fight scene in the entire movie, which was the one-on-one fight between Han and Dryden.
Well, and Kira's fighting too, though.
Oh, she's more looking for the sword
Yeah.
to kill Dryden with. She deals the final blow to Dryden, but for the most part, it's all Han and Dryden fighting. And I love the choreography of them, like, you know, him dodging all of Dryden's strikes and trying to get his gun back.
Oh.
And there it goes.
There goes
But you know, he's dodging all the shots and he's trying to get
Must
his
be
gun
the
back.
bad battery.
Must be. And just the choreography and him just cutting up his room, his office with the blades was really cool. And eventually Kira, by the end, once Dryden, of course, gets Han down, is about to kill him, Kira comes and stabs him. And then Han is like, oh, I have to go get, you know, the stuff from Beckett, the refined Veraxium, Praxium?
No.
Coaxium, because he took it in midway through the fight.
Yeah, had Chewie carry it for him.
And ran, yeah. And Kira's like, don't worry, I'll wait for you here. And
he goes out. And
No,
deals
like
with,
I'm right behind you is what she said.
Yeah.
She's gonna collect up. She tells Han she's gonna collect up all the jewelry and all
the gems,
priceless stuff that's in Voss's collection, basically, and they're gonna sell it to get a ship.
Yeah, but she ends up walking right past, turns on the communicator up on the hologram. Comes Darth Maul, and he's saying to bring all the, to come back.
Just come to him on Dathomir.
Yeah, when she lies to him, says that Beckett killed Dryden.
And took the
And
coaxium.
that had she been there, she probably could have saved Dryden. And I think Maul kind of sees through that, but he's okay with it.
Yeah, I was expecting
like-
when she said that, I was expecting some force choking action.
Nope. I think he was okay with that. He's like, yeah, this is just the girl I need. Like, she's willing to lie to me, and she's already killed her, master.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can work with somebody like this. So I think that was, like,
And
he
of
knew
course-
it, but I think he just didn't care.
It was a Star Wars movie, so Darth Maul had to stand up and go
Yeah.
and light up his
Yeah, he
friggin'
like
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Yeah, he's just brings in the lightsaber with the force. and then he turns it on, just like a little intimidation factor.
Yeah. To make himself look cool, basically. And then Han goes,
takes care
of Beckett,
and then she takes off on the
yacht. And Chewie's the only one that he has left.
And then they go back to Enfys Nest, and he just gets the one little vial that kind of like the same one that he started with
that he
at the very beginning of the movie.
Yep. He doesn't have any more than he had when he.
In 3 years,
left
he got
Corellia.
in the exact same position as he was when he left Corellia. One thing of coaxium.
Except for this one's worth about 10,000 credits instead of the one that was worth about 600 to 700.
Yeah.
That they had in Corellia.
And then, at the final moment, he goes to the this jungle planet. I don't know really what it's called.
Yep.
I have to figure that one out.
Yeah, and Lando's there playing cards in another cantina, playing some sabacc in another cantina. Han comes.
Gives him doesn't he hug him?
Yeah,
he
gives
sees
him
the thing
a
up
hug.
his he sees the thing up his wrist, and then because he's like telling Chewie rip his arms off. Chewie's like, and then that's when he sees the little card dispenser up his sleeve, and he like grabs his hand and gives him a hug.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, just
like,
man,
just
and he steals that card out there so he can't use it.
And then he gets a full sabacc in the game of sabacc and wins the Millennium Falcon. And him and Chewie go light speeding off to another adventure.
Well, they go to Tatooine.
They go to Tatooine. Remember, because at one point Beckett's like, I know this guy on Tatooine that's got a job.
Yeah, big time gangster.
Jabba the Hutt.
Putting together a crew.
So then, as soon as they got the Millennium Falcon, it's him and Chewie. It's like, hey,
let's go to
Tatooine. Let's see if we can get that job or whatever.
Right.
And do that job. And that's how it ends.
Yep. It was a really good movie.
So good. And I love the learning curve for Han. He's sort of like naive, and then by the time they get to that last scene, he's like, yeah, he's got Beckett played him. He's like, I've been listening. I've been paying attention.
I've learned.
It's like, you told Chewie that even like people are predictable. Like, that doesn't leave you out of it.
Yeah.
You know, he knew exactly what Beckett was going to do.
Yeah.
So like, he told Beckett that they were going to give Voss fake coaxium. So he's like, well, we'll take the real coaxium there, and he knew that they would send all the troops out after Enfys Nest.
Yeah, Nest people were all in a bunch of the natives instead of their people.
All dressed up in their
gear. So they surrounded them, and then all of a sudden they got surrounded by the natives, and the natives were the Enfys Nest's crew. So total manipulation by Han and those guys.
Kira knew what was going on a little. Yeah. But I don't think she didn't know the Beckett side of it.
No.
Yeah.
That Beckett was going to show up.
Now,
that's what threw her off.
We actually forgot to mention one thing. The Wookiee slaves that Chewie frees. We completely forgot to mention that.
On Kessel.
Yeah.
On Kessel.
Because he's apparently looking for his family or his tribe. Because Han doesn't know which one. And then Beckett says, what's the difference? And he ends up finding a couple of Wookiees on the Kessel mines.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
Those Wookiees, you could tell they're wanting him to come with us. Come with us, with your people. And he's like, I can't.
Yeah. See, and we never really get to know about the life debt. Like,
you don't like. It's never
it's an act. Like, it's never said.
No, it's never said. But you kind of figure it out that I think he kind of has two life debts almost. The saving him from the mud pit at the very beginning, and then when they're on that train and he's falling off the side, Chewie is, and that rock's going to crush his skull, and Han pulls him back in. Mm-hmm. So he kind of owes him a lot, and it's I don't think it's ever going to be spoken anywhere,
right.
But it's like
it's just an understood
thing.
Maybe it's only something Chewie keeps to himself.
Yeah,
like that's why he follows Han.
Follows Han all the way until the day he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then after that, he just, you know what? I'm still with the
the Millennium Falcon.
I'm with these people, so he stays with Rey.
Also, I don't think Chewbacca could leave the Millennium Falcon if he tried.
No, him and that ship are like.
Right, he won't be able to leave Rey now because they just have a bond now because of Han.
Yeah.
So I don't think, but it was just a fantastic movie.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Great.
I loved it.
I want to go see it again.
Yeah, me
too.
too.
Thinking about going tonight.
Hey man, take me with you.
Yeah, we can go tonight. Yeah. Go up and look up for some
some showtimes. Yeah, I have to. But yeah, solid 8 out of 10 movie for me. I absolutely
and if
loved it.
when I say 8 out of 10 as well, but I think once I see it more, it's going to grow on me even more.
Oh,
It might
yeah.
become a 9.
I could definitely see this movie
Or 8.5.
becoming a 9 for me if once I see it more and more and more.
And that's what's kind of interesting. Like everybody's like talking about how it's kind of a flop, but if
or
you look
kind
at,
of a average. It's like.
But if you
flop-
look, yeah, it's
Meh. Yeah.
But if you look at the ratings that the actual exit people coming out of the movie
Yeah.
that have actually seen the movie, it's getting an A-.
Yeah, it's getting really good reviews.
I mean, you can't get much better than that. All
Like,
it takes
yeah.
is a few people to say, "Oh, it was a C," and all of a sudden that drags it down. A-. How can you go wrong with a movie that rates at A-?
Yeah.
By the actual people who saw the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
What sucks is I hate stuff like Rotten Tomatoes and those kind of sites because there'll be people that haven't seen the movie just go on there 0, gets a 0, just to drive the scores down because they don't like Star Wars or they're just
They don't like Marvel or they
or
don't like
they're
DC.
or
they don't
they're
like Disney.
butthurt over Last Jedi being
Yes.
a disappointment.
yeah.
I'll admit, Last Jedi for me was a disappointment. I thought it could have been so much better than it was. Does that mean that I'm gonna give up on Star Wars altogether? No.
Yeah, and am I gonna just go?
You
I'm
know?
not gonna go see the Han Solo movie because
I'm not gonna go see.
because the Last Jedi, not even the same director, not the same writers, not
Yeah, no,
anything,
yeah.
not the same actors. It's why would you do that? Why
Yeah,
would you just
like-
totally
Yeah,
just throw the whole franchise? I'm done with this.
yeah,
Fight
like
with one movie.
with one disappointing movie.
I mean, if
you,
I did,
you
if
didn't
I
do
did
that
the,
with the prequels.
yeah, if I did that with the third Iron Man movie, I would never have seen any of the other movies.
Marvel movies, yeah.
Any other Marvel movies.
Or
Because that one was
Age
terrible.
of Ultron. I did not like Age of Ultron at all. But I still went to go see all the rest of them because I'm like, hey, if that one wasn't bad, then maybe the next one will be better.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was. And I was like, yes. So that's what this movie is to me. It's like, it kind of made up for Last Jedi's faults for me.
We just have to judge each
movie
movie on its
individual
individual
Yeah.
basis,
Yeah.
on its individual merits. Like,
Yeah.
You can't judge a movie based on the movie that came before.
Yeah.
My dog's going insane upstairs.
It's some
Yeah,
freaking
probably-
stampede.
Go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our review of Solo: A Star Wars Story. Great movie. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
I loved all the Easter eggs, all the throwbacks to a lot of the other
love
movies.
The characters, the interactions between the characters were just all great.
I just hope we get to see where the Maul and Kira stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, after seeing this movie, I'd
I'd actually
like to see Han and Chewie like
doing their
doing
first
what
jobs
they do with Jabba.
with Jabba. Yeah, that would be really cool. Seeing
Yeah,
the,
and that you could even get the point where Boba Fett comes in a little bit. So
Well,
they have
Boba Fett's
that.
getting his own movie now.
dude,
I don't know if they need the movie, but whatever.
could you imagine?
Well, it's been released by.
Oh, yeah.
It's official from
Okay.
Lucasfilm now.
Could you imagine though, like next Solo movie, if they are gonna make another Han Solo movie?
I hope they don't let this like the bad
press
numbers.
Yeah, dissuade them.
because if they'd have released this in December, it probably would have done as well as friggin' Rogue One.
Yeah, Memorial
weekend's
Day
a
weekend is
bad
a
weekend
bad weekend.
To
And also,
open
you
the
had Infinity Wars and Deadpool 2 both coming out before your movie in the same month.
in the same month, sucking the same
same
dollars,
audience.
the same
Yeah.
audience, and the same dollars.
Same, nerdy audience.
Yeah, so they set themselves up for not doing too well.
I think definitely next month, this movie's definitely going to get better numbers. I
don't think it'll get as good as it did opening week, but I don't
No.
think the numbers are going to drop as fast as like Deadpool's numbers dropped after the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And Infinity Wars, because there's nothing coming out until Jurassic Park on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So it's got like 3 weeks.
Right, to still collect money.
like-
And then, Deadpool 2 is still there too, so it'll be between those two movies for the top two spots, I think, in the box office over the next 3 weeks.
For the next
But-
3 weeks.
What I was going to say was, could you just imagine the next, if they do another Han Solo movie, which please do, could you imagine going into, in the theater, surround sound, big, huge screen, seeing the Mos Eisley Cantina again, and seeing all the creatures and hearing that iconic music, and seeing the, same spot,
Yeah.
you know?
Not necessarily all the same creatures.
No,
but, yeah,
but
a lot
yeah.
of
a lot of the, you know,
But some of the
A lot
similar ones.
the indigenous creatures to Tatooine. You get
maybe some of the
Jawas and-
regulars. Yeah,
Right.
you got some of the regulars there. That would be so awesome, and especially for YouTube because it would be like nostalgia hitting you
Yeah.
right in the face.
Yeah.
So it would, yeah, I would love to see that. So yeah, that's it. Jay, where can people find you?
Find me posting stuff on our Facebook page, Red2 Chatter, also over on Instagram at JWilsonByDesign. Also, next week we'll talk about sort of the news that came out this week.
Yeah.
That's already up on the Facebook page, so next week you can follow along with the news we're skipping for this week. 'Cause
If you wanna
we wanted
jump-
to do this review.
Yeah, if you want to jump and read the news before us, go
Right.
ahead. You can find me on YouTube as well under Major Glitterix. Still doing some Blue Reflection. I'm hoping to do some other games. I'm looking at my game library right now and being like, ugh, which one should I record? Because I'm not sure. I'll find one though. I'll find one that I'll want to record. Maybe Pillars of Eternity. So yeah, hope to see you guys there. Link down in the description below. And yeah, that's about it. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Oh, are we waving?
Oh,
Waving
bye.
us?
Wait, I just realized I'm waving.